2 days ago, I told my grandfather that I was going to do a TEDx talk. And he asked me what it was about. I told him, and then he sat me down very seriously. And he told me a story about a girl who lost weight at a very fast rate. And then he asked me actually, could you fit this story in your talk somewhere? And then I looked him blank in the eyes, and I was like, but it's not relevant. And then he said, oh, is it not? Isn't your talk about obesity? I was like, no, authenticity. My talk is on authenticity. And with that, now that that's clear, today I'm going to talk to you about authenticity, this wonderful, beautiful journey of figuring out who we are and finding the courage to be it and show up as ourselves every single day. When the philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau said, man was born free, yet everywhere he's in chains, in the early 1700s, or when the beloved Krishnamurti said, society doesn't want man to be free, or when my favorite band, the Lumineers, sang, strangers in this town raise you up just to cut you down, I really felt truer words were never spoken. That's us. And a lot of who we are and who we are meant to be is predetermined just when you are born. The financial situation that you're born into determines your fate a lot of times. Yes, you can improve it, you can change it, you can shape it, but it determines your early life. Your religion, the cultural ideologies that you are born into shapes you in such a strong way. The mindset of your family, the mindset of your parents influences you, shapes you, it predetermines your life and how it's going to be. Your health, your mental health, politics of the land that you're born into. So all of these characteristics, these bubbles that we are born into, shapes us, and it either gives us the opportunity to be ourselves, or it takes away from it. It cuts you down just a little bit or by a lot. For example, if I was standing on a land today where women were not allowed to speak publicly, I would not be standing here today. Or if I was born into a family who listened to that one scholar who goes around saying women are not allowed to travel alone without a male companion, I would not be standing here today. However, I don't stand here to say that I'm grateful to be here, because I've got to honor one of my favorite writers, Simone de Beauvoir, where she says, freedom will be achieved when women are no longer expected to be grateful for it. Instead, I stand before you to tell you the loudest voices out there, the stories that exist all around us, it exists because of a reason. Either it exists because the circumstances were just about right for it to exist, or it exists because of the complete opposite. It exists because of revolt. It exists because of rebellion. It exists because of courage, of stories of grit and perseverance and resilience. And most times, it's a mix of it all. Now, wading in this chaotic turbulence that our society is, the judgments that we are surrounded by, the comments, the people that try to hold us back, the people that try to make you a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller, a little bit quieter. We are swimming through this turbulent waters, and it is not easy. It is not just easy as just be yourself. It's not easy, and I understand. It is truly not easy. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you here have been told how to dress in your life, and you want to dress a certain way, but you're not allowed in your family? Please raise your hand if this holds true for you. Yes, I see a lot of hands. How many of you here were told which community you can love from, or maybe you're not allowed to love at all. It's straight to arranged marriage. But how many of you had to endure breakups or not struggle with finding love because you're not allowed to love just about anyone? Can you raise your hand? Again. How many of you wanted to choose a certain career but could not because you were not believed in and you were maybe pushed in another direction? Raise your hands if it holds true. Okay. How many of you feel afraid to share your voice because you are just a little afraid of judgment and of perception? Because you've seen how ruthless out there it is. Raise your hand if that rings true. So I've basically seen most hands raised here, and these are where the missing stories are. It resides within you. Since birth, we've been given conditional love. As a society, somehow, somewhere we've faltered, and we've mistaken love for conditionality. Now, conditional love is very strange. You give it if the other person acts in a way that you want them to. The moment they sway or decide to go a different direction, you withhold that love. You don't give that to them anymore. What is unconditionality? We live in a society with people who experience tunnel vision. So if you have tunnel vision, this is what your world looks like. Now that is a picture of legs, okay? Oh my goodness, she's wearing short clothes. How could she? It's so immoral. Like, how could she, as a grown woman, expose her legs? Oh my goodness. Did you see her colored hair? But these are all true stories, by the way. Instagram comments, family members. Oh my God, did you see the colored hair? She's changed so much. Do you think she's even a good person anymore? I don't know what kind of crowd she's hanging out with these days. When you remove these glasses of tunnel vision, your world expands around you. You stop seeing the world this way, and this is honestly a sad way to see the world. Your world becomes larger. And that was me in a fun summer, just beat cancer, exploring the world in front of a Monet. And there are still some people out there who just focus on my legs. But that's just a sad way to live. But the truth is, do you see the love? Do you see the happiness? Do you feel the excitement? Do you see me happy? Because I was very happy. This is my sister. She's one of the coolest people I know. Whenever she comes back to Kerala, it's all about her hair, but do you see how freaking cool she is? Like, her art, her bedroom, the way she lives, she's such an inspiration. And she's the kindest, sweetest, most amazing person I know. Her hair, it changes with the seasons. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's red. She's playing music, she's drawing our cats. She's just this amazing person. So if any of you experience tunnel vision, get rid of that. Because the world is much beautifuler without it. And if you have people at home who experience tunnel vision, talk to them about it. And these are conversations that I keep having at home so that I get to live a better life, my sister gets to live a better life, free of judgment. A few years ago, when I was in college, I remember I had just first gone off to college, and all my life I had been told how to dress. My arms need to be covered, everything needs to be covered, essentially. And that was the only way you would be a good human being. And when I went off to college and I saw everyone's just dressing normally, there was no creepers, it's just normal life. It's summer, I'm feeling hot, I want to wear a sleeveless top or shorts. I'm enjoying the wind in my hair, being on the grass during picnic time or whatever. My friends were posting pictures of it on social media, and I would call them up frantically and I'd be like, please, take it down. My family's gonna see. Please, 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 please delete. I'm so sorry. The group pics had to go down, and I was anxious all the time. And I would get all the pictures taken down immediately as soon as they went up, and no tags allowed, no mentions allowed. So at some point, I was tired. I was tired of hiding. I was tired of this double life that I was living. And this may not be revolutionary, but to me, at that point of life, it truly was. I posted this picture on social media in a strap dress, and just this much. There was nothing more than that. I posted this, and I wrote about how women are so politicized in the way that we dress. And we're reduced to our bodies. We're reduced to the way that we dress. And why don't you see our intellect? Why don't you listen to what we have to say? Why don't you believe us when we say that we know how to choose how to live, and we don't need to be told what to do, what to wear, where to go, whom to marry? So that was that, and my mom didn't talk to me for 2 days after I posted this picture. But interestingly enough, when I fell really ill at some point, she came to me and she looked me in the eyes and she said, "You know, I don't care how you dress. I don't care who you marry. I don't care who you love. Just want you alive." And then I had like tears in my eyes, and I was like, "Thank you. But does it take a person to almost die to give them the freedom that they want?" But so that was that story. So authenticity. I've been practicing even through fear and through feeling scared, because posting that picture was not easy. If you knew the community that I grew up in, it was one of the hardest things that I've done. So authenticity was something I kept practicing even through my fear. And the first time in my life that I noticed someone being truly authentic was when I first saw Heidi. It was a cartoon that played in Cartoon Network in 2002. It's created by Studio Ghibli, by Hayao Miyazaki and Isao Takahata. And it was my favorite cartoon at 5 years old. This girl, this little kid, amazing kid, one of the first scenes in the cartoon was this. She is an orphan girl. She was being dropped at her grandfather's place, and she does not give a single shit what other people think about her. She immediately, seeing the beauty of the mountains, she removes all her clothes. There's people watching her because she's new in town. She removes all her clothes, just like flicks it around, runs straight into the mountains. You can see the aunt looking in absolute dismay at her. And this, for me, represents society. And this, for me, represents unburdening of the social conditioning that we've grown up with. And this sticks with me throughout my whole life. And through this cartoon, I've learned so many things, not just authenticity, but love and kindness and values that truly matter, that is not judgment. There was this beautiful scene where she goes up into the mountains and she sees the beauty of flowers and she plucks them. She plucks them one by one, and she is so excited to take it to her grandfather to show him the flowers. And it's a whole evening. She reaches back home, she opens her little rucksack, she shows him the flowers, and then she looks at the flowers and she realizes they're all dead. And then the grandfather gently tells her, "Heidi, this is what happens when you pluck flowers. They die." With so much sadness, and her heart is broken. She goes to the edge of the mountain and she throws the flowers down and she watches it flow down, and she says, and she makes a quiet promise to herself that, "I'm sorry, flowers, I will never pluck you again." And that was the last time she plucked flowers. And this was the sensitivity and the love that I saw, and it kind of really reached my heart. And my love for stories and the way that it influences people quietly found a place in my heart. And yes, so this happened at some point. Um, I saw also the prowess, the skill, the beauty, the light in filmmakers such as Anjali Menon on the big screens, and suddenly I was like, wait, this job is not just for men. You know, it's I could be a filmmaker too, and girls like me have a chance. So I went up to my parents. They're really nice parents, to be honest. I went up to them and I was like, I want to become a filmmaker. I remember it was a living room, random day. I'm not even studying filmmaking, something else. And I said, I want to become a filmmaker. My father, he is a super chill, super nice man who believes in letting kids do whatever they want to do. So he replied, okay, you can become a filmmaker if you want to, like, go ahead. But my mother was concerned. She's like, no way, it's not a safe industry for women. That's not happening. You're not becoming a filmmaker. You need a professional degree. You cannot be studying in film school. There's no way. And also, what will people say? Who will marry you? And blah, 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 blah. And suddenly it became this whole thing. And I did something absolutely revolutionary. I cried. I cried so much. I cried. I went to my room, I was crying, I slammed the door, I was like, I want to become a filmmaker. I said what I said. My parents saw me so distraught. They were like, you know what? Okay, don't go to the industry now, but we'll get you a camera. You film at home. So that's the story of how I got my first camera. It's because they're super nice. Yeah, so they said, we'll get you a camera to film at home. Don't go to the industry. Be safe. Do it in the confines of your home. So that was my first camera. And I was super in love. I was happy. I was excited. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do with this what I can. I'm going to make films. I'm going to tell stories. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. I took that camera and told so many stories. Stories about love, about heartbreak, about friendship, about everything that's going on in my life. And it was even more exciting than making theater films, in my opinion. For me, I just had a blast with the camera. I was telling all sorts of stories. Everything that was residing in my heart, I channeled through my films. And yeah, so these were just a few of some of the films that I've been working on the past few years. And because of me posting my work on Instagram and YouTube and all of that, I got opportunities to be on set. And that was crazy. I was like, getting calls to be on set as director, like straight up. I was like, oh my gosh, I've just been making films in my bedroom. This was something really unexpected for me. But I got to be on really cool sets with people who believed in me as director, and it was such an incredible experience. I enjoy this so much, and it reaffirms that this is what I truly want to do. So it's the last music video that I filmed as director and writer. At 22 years old, I was diagnosed with cancer. By then, I was very comfortable being myself. I was very comfortable being authentic, fighting for what I want, standing up for whatever I want in life. And I remember it's very interesting, actually. If you go to a cancer hospital in Kerala, it's very rare that you're going to see a bald woman, even though they're experiencing cancer. And it's because mostly they're wearing wigs or covering it with shawls or hoodies or whatever. And there's no judgment there, of course, because I do really, truly understand the weight of beauty that lies in these few strands attached to the scalp. But when I got the opportunity to be bald, I say it as if such a big thing, but my hair was going away and called the barber, shaved it off. I was kind of a little bit excited to be bald. I was like, oh, I wonder what this is like to not have any hair. It was honestly great. I could shower and just wipe it off. But something strange also started happening. Even though I was proudly bald and I was like happy to be bald, I was like going around the hospital with my bald head, strutting along. I was like, this is me, take it or leave it. It's a cancer hospital. What do you expect? But then I've faced so many people telling me to cover my head because it's a sore sight to see for them. Oh no, poor them. Not poor me, the one who's going through blood cancer. Um, but I say no. I'm not gonna cover my hair. Like, no, like there were people who got me shawls, scarves, people bought me stuff as gifts. I was like, no, like take it away. I'm not gonna use any of this. It's like, no, I'm gonna be me and you're gonna see me as me. And that's what I told them. And on my 23rd birthday, I got discharged. I was okay, and we celebrated my birthday in the hospital with my dear nurses and everything. And yeah, that's just me enjoying life after the hospital chemo experience. And today I stand before you 4 years cancer-free, actually. So yeah, this whole practice of being me, regardless of the circumstances thrown at me, is something that I can pat myself on the back for and be proud of myself for. And I come to you here today with the message that the self is fluid. It is not singular, it is plural. Before I walked up on the stage today, I might have been a different person than the person that's going to leave the stage today, and that goes for you too. So don't be afraid if you've not figured yourself out, because this is a process. This is a journey that you're going to enjoy. You're going to love being you. I hope you dare to dream. I hope you reclaim agency in your life. I hope you take up space in this world that was always meant for you. And I truly hope you will unearth the hidden stories within you. Take pride in who you are. Stand up for yourself with those who wrong you. And I end my talk today by saying, one day you will speak and the world will listen. Thank you so much. That was my time. Lots of love, Raiza.